Hello guys, welcome to my channel. Today again I am here with you with a new video. Sorry, not new video. That is part 2 of Why Do We Fall Ill, chapter 5 or chapter 13. So let's start. So our first topic is causes of diseases. Here, causes of diseases. So what are the causes of diseases? How diseases are caused? First of all, diseases are caused by the microorganisms that are harmful to us, and harmful microorganisms that cause us the diseases are called pathogens, that we have read in class 8th. Yes, pathogens are like virus, bacteria, fungi, protozoans and worms, right? Then is genetic disorders by means inheriting genes, okay, and environmental pollution. As we know that pollution is increasing day by day, and when there is an increase in pollution, it causes breathing problems, respiratory problems, so that also called causes of disease. Okay, then is malfunctioning of body parts. Malfunctioning of body parts means not working properly of body parts. बॉडी पार्ट्स के अच्छे से फंक्शनिंग ना होना, जैसे सपोज लेट अस टेक द example of stomach. We are eating the food and stomach is not getting proper nutrients due to malfunctioning. It is a disease like. Then is poor health and undernourishment. If there is a poor health and there is not full nourishment, or suppose their parents live in a poverty, then there will be lack of food. Yes, and it will lead to poor health. Okay, then is causes of diseases that are classified into. Causes of diseases are classified into three types, that are first level of cause, second level of cause and third level of cause. Next comes to our means we will study about them. First level of cause is also called immediate or primary cause. Okay, second level of cause is called contributory cause or secondary cause. It is led to lack of balanced diet and genetic issues. Third level of cause comes to poverty and lack of hygiene. I'll explain you all with the example. Let us take an example of loose motion. Okay, suppose a newborn child of not on that day only, okay, of 2 to 3 days, he is suffering from loose motion. Okay, they all are in hospital where many newborn babies are there. Okay, but only that child has got loose motions. Why not other? Okay, we will immediately say that it is virus. Okay, he may have led it to the virus, but why only he led it to virus? See, I'll write down all, just wait. Here, first is why, that will be virus. Virus सिर्फ उसी को क्यों हुआ? Why not to anyone? Any another? Yes. Then is second level of cause. Might be there is lack of food, or he haven't got proper nourishment. Yes. Then comes to third level of cause, that is lack of hygiene. Third level of cause comes to, might be his or her parents have faced a poverty. Yes, or there is a lack of hygiene, means in which society or in which community they live, there is not proper management to take care of the surroundings. Okay, then comes to type of diseases. As you can see here, there is a chart given. First is congenital and acquired. And then acquired has some subpoints that are infectious and non-infectious. Infectious is even called communicable, and non-infectious is even called non-communicable. Then infectious and non-infectious have subpoints. First of all, infectious has two subpoints that are contagious and non-contagious. Then comes to non-infectious or non-communicable. They have five, that are deficiency, metabolic, degenerative cancer, injury, and metabolic allergies. Okay, so we will not read about all, we will read about some only, main. Okay, we will read up to here only, non-infectious, then we will not read about their subpoints. Okay, sorry. Then is congenital diseases, the diseases that are present since birth. Okay, when the child takes birth, the disease is present between him or her. Okay, these are caused due to genetic abnormality or due to metabolic or malfunctioning of any organ. Maybe whenever the child takes birth, maybe there is a permanent injury of malfunctioning of any body. Okay, metabolic injury also, and maybe it is due to genetic abnormality as inheritance of genetic inheritance of genes. Okay, they are permanent and cannot be easily curable and may be inherited to the children. Means in mother or in father, this is permanent, and it is very impossible, it is very rare that it will be curable. Okay, so it may be inherited, it may be transferred to their children also. Then comes to acquired diseases, the diseases that are developed after birth. They are not led by the genetic abnormalities. Okay, they are acquired diseases are of two types, infectious and non-infectious. Infectious, the diseases that are caused by some biological agents. What do you mean by biological agents? Like virus, bacteria, helminths, fungi, means are pathogens. Okay, they are our pathogens. Okay, their diseases spread as it is even known as communicable diseases. As we know that, what do we mean by communicable diseases? The diseases that transfer from transfer from infected person to a healthy person. Okay, like typhoid. What are the symptoms of the typhoid? That are headache and typhoid. Okay, high fever. In nutshell, symptoms of typhoid include continuous fever. How is prevention? Vaccine. Okay, proper sanitation. Then comes to non-infectious diseases. Non-infectious diseases are even called non-communicable diseases, and non-communicable diseases means that will not spread from one person to another. Okay, the diseases may be caused from lack of certain essential substances in our diet. Okay, and due to excessive weight. Okay, high blood pressure, etc. There is every kind of disease is not under control, but the least we can do is to take care of ourselves and our surroundings. As we know that there are some diseases that we can undertake, but there are many diseases that we can't control, and if we will take one step, we will take a step to prevent, we can prevent and take care of ourselves and our surroundings too. Then comes to infectious and non-infectious diseases difference. Okay, first is infectious diseases are caused by pathogens. Okay, external factors are involved here. These diseases can be transmitted from one person to another, as they are even called communicable diseases. Infectious agents, vectors, or direct contact are responsible for transmission of such diseases. Infectious diseases can be prevented by maintaining personal and community hygiene. Examples are cold, influenza, chickenpox, herpes, measles, typhoid, tuberculosis, hepatitis, pneumonia, cholera, malaria, dengue. Okay. then it is caused by pathogens. Okay, non-infectious diseases, these diseases are caused by other factors but not by the pathogens. Okay, the diseases that are caused by pathogens, they are communicable. Okay, then as internal factors are mostly involved in the occurrence of diseases. There are external, means physical. Here is inside our body, as weight, excessive weight, high blood pressure, due to our internal diseases. Okay, diseases cannot be transmitted from one person to another. Transmission does not occur. Okay, but in case of hereditary diseases, some diseases that are hereditary, transmission occur from parents to offspring. Okay, non-infectious diseases cannot be prevented by maintaining personal and community hygiene. Examples are diabetes, cancer, heart disease, high blood pressure, Down syndrome, hemophilia, skin cancer, cardiovascular diseases, etc. Okay, they are caused by factors such as genetics, environment, and lifestyle. Clear? Then comes to infectious diseases, means agents we will talk about, that are the agent that cause infectious diseases or communicable diseases are called infectious agents. Infectious agents are known as pathogens. Okay, but what do you mean by infection? Entry or invasion, entry of pathogen that proliferates and result in tissue injury, which can cause a disease, is called infection. By the pathogen the disease is caused, okay, that results in damage or injury in the tissue, is called infection. Then is virus. Virus is the smallest infectious agent. It does not have their own cellular structure and their metabolic machinery like other organism. It gets activate when it enters the living cell of other organism. But if it is outside, it is inactive or dormant. Okay, but it is capable. It is capable to infect all the life form, causing several viral diseases. Then comes to fungi. Okay, fungi are eukaryotic, heterotrophic, and mostly multicellular organisms. Heterotrophic, you know, who eat grass. Okay, means we can say vegetarian. Okay, not heterotrophic, they're vegetarian only, na heterotrophers. Okay, eukaryotic means the diseases that are fully developed. Okay, prokaryotic means that are not fully developed, they are in the developing stage. Okay, but we are talking about fungi. It is fully developed, as known as eukaryotic, and it is multicellular organism. In comparison to bacteria and virus, only few fungi are there which cause diseases. Fungi may infect hair, skin, nails, okay, of human. Pet animals also have fungal infections on their skin. Then comes to bacteria. It is a unicellular organism and prokaryotic, means that is not fully developed. Okay, under favorable condition it reproduces very quickly and it causes several diseases. Then comes to protozoans. Protozoans are unicellular organism and eukaryotic, means they are fully developed. Number of protozoan pathogen cause diseases in humans only. Then comes to infectious agents. We will talk about their diseases, that are virus cause to common cold, influenza, dengue fever, rabies, AIDS full form is acquired immune deficiency syndrome. Okay, mumps, smallpox, chicken pox, yellow fever, then chicken pox. Okay, hepatitis B, chikungunya, swine flu, SARS full form is severe acute respiratory syndrome. Then is bacteria. Okay, it causes typhoid fever, tuberculosis, anthrax, tetanus, cholera, diphtheria, pneumonia, plague, acne, food poisoning. Then comes to fungi, skin infections such as ringworm and athlete's foot. Protozoa, that is malaria, amoebic dysentery, kala azar, sleeping sickness, giardiasis. Then comes to worms, that is Teniasis, elephantiasis, ascariasis. Okay, intestinal worm infections, elephantiasis also. Okay, this is the main slide and you may take the screenshot also if you want. Then comes the some diseases caused by pathogens. First of all, I'll tell you about SARS. Okay, SARS is like the COVID 19. Okay, it is like the COVID 19, as in earlier times it was even called SARS COVID. It was called, see here, they have written SARS CoV. Okay, its full form is severe acute respiratory syndrome that causes the respiratory problems and sometimes death also. It was identified in 2003. It was even called it was caused by the common cold virus. Okay, it was called SARS coronavirus. Okay, then is acne. Acne is not infectious disease, but when there is a excessive growth of Propionibacterium acne, it contributes to development of acne. Sometimes Staphylococcus bacteria also is responsible for causing acne. Okay, how it is a skin disease that occurs when the hair follicles are blocked with the dead cells and oil glands also. Okay, then is sleeping sickness. It is caused by protozoan parasite that's name is Trypanosoma brucei in humans. Okay, it is transmitted to a healthy person by the bite of an infected insect. The name is Tuskegee fly. Then is Kala Azar, also known as Leishmaniasis. It is caused by the protozoan parasites of the genus known as Leishmania. Okay, it is again transmitted by the bite of infected female insect known as sandfly. Then is modes of transmission. There are two modes of transmission, that are direct and indirect. And further there are the subpoints. In ninth class there are 4 only, but they have given us 5. We will discuss about 4 only, okay, of all. Direct contact, droplet infection, contact with soil, inoculation with the skin or mucosa, transplacental. Indirect, I'll tell you here, through vector, through air, through contaminated food and water, through fomites. First of all, we will tell about direct transmission, that is direct contact. Like suppose someone is suffering from the chicken pox, it will not spread like he has touched this, so we will, or by water. Okay, handshaking, hug, no, water, it will handshaking, hugging, playing sports, not by this. Okay, if we will drink its water, then, or if we are sitting or we are sleeping with him or her, then. Okay, then is contact with soil. The bacteria that cause tetanus in human is found in soil. Okay, when suppose some children have the habit of playing in sand or soil, and they are mainly having the cuts or injuries on their body. Okay, when the child is playing in the soil, there is a tetanus present inside it, and it may go inside through the injuries. Okay, then is through animal bite. The animals like rabbit, dogs and monkey, they spread rabbit virus through their bites and cause rabies. Okay, then is transplacental. Some diseases like syphilis, AIDS, they transfer from mother to fetus through placenta and is called transplacental transmission. Then comes to indirect transmission. Okay, indirect transmission, that is through vector. Through vector means, first of all, vectors are called carriers of the diseases. Okay, that take the disease and spread and give it to the host cell. Okay, as like means Anopheles mosquito is a vector for transmitting malaria. Okay, Culex mosquito for elephantiasis, housefly for diarrhea, typhoid, cholera, and many more. Then comes to through air. Suppose I am having cold, and when I'll sneeze, I am not having any thing to cover, and I haven't even used my hands to cover my mouth. Okay, when I'll sneeze or when I'll cough, my droplets will go in the air and can be transferred into the healthy person. Then comes to through contaminated food and water. as we know that food items and water easily get infected with the germs. Okay, ingestion of contaminated food and water often causes us infectious diseases, as we know that sometimes we kept the food in open. Such food and consumption causes foodborne diseases and food poisoning also. Okay, then comes to through fomites are the non-living things, okay, that are that infect the person, like clothes, handkerchief, towel. Suppose it is used by an infected person and we have even used it, that we will cause that disease only. Okay, then is principle of treatment. There are two principles of treatment: to reduce the disease and to kill the disease. To reduce the diseases, this is done by taking medicine. And suppose there is a too much pain, and or suppose we are having the fever. Okay, let's take about pain. Okay, we will have the painkiller to reduce the pain. Okay, but to kill, then we have to use antibiotics and drugs. Then comes to prevention of diseases. How we will do the prevention of diseases? By general ways, that are clean environment, proper disposal system, proper nutrition, personal hygiene and cleanliness, exercise, sleep and rest. Clean environment. Suppose airborne infections spread when a person is exposed to the infected person. To prevent such infection, overcrowded places should be avoided. Okay, proper disposal system. Regular waste should be collected and disposed. Proper nutrition, there should be sufficient quantity and of good quality. Okay, personal hygiene and cleanliness. Always wash your hands, take bath regularly, brush your teeth twice a day, and etc. Exercise, sleep and rest. Sleep is most important, exercise also, and we need to rest. Okay, then comes to how to prevent infection. See here, they have given us cover your mouth. Okay, do bandage, wash your hands before eating, and many more. Then is immunity and immune system. Immunity and immune system we have read in the 8th class. Immunity, what do we immunity means? To to fight against disease. Okay, and we know that if someone got chicken pox, it gets lifetime immunity for this particular disease. Okay, this is because when immunity system encounters a pathogen for the first time, it kills the pathogen for the first time, it responds against the pathogen and remember it specifically. It gets their images formed in our immune system that this type of disease is injurious and we have to kill it. Suppose another time also that person only get chicken pox, then our immune system will kill it quickly rather than the first time. Okay, then is type of immunity that are natural and acquired. Natural immunity is means from the birth, when it was when the baby took birth, from that time only. Okay, from the mother to the fetus through placenta. And acquired means after birth. Thank you for attention. Please subscribe my channel for the more videos and click the bell icon also. Please like, share my video also, and for any query please write it down in comment box. Thank you.